Hey everybody, it's Georgia Rose from Zenkuda, and welcome to the Soul Space Podcast. As you can see, I'm still in my home studio, but hopefully in a couple of weeks, as soon as this COVID vaccine gets a little more prevalent, we'll be back in the studio. I hope everybody's having a great week, and tonight we're going to talk about the full moon in Leo, and also, of course, we'll do some tarot cards. I have to tell you, before I went to do the broadcast tonight, I looked out the window right over here, and I have these beautiful brass wind chimes that someone had given me, and I can see the full moon out my window. It's unbelievable, the Leo full moon tonight. Of course, that full moon was at 2:15 today in the afternoon, so it's starting to pass the full moon point now, but we still have a beautiful, beautiful night sky. So if you can, get out there and take a look at it, guys. So let's see who's on tonight. How many of my friends are here and seeing us live. It's a little delay, so I just have to wait for the show to come on. So I have to say, I've been feeling this full moon energy for several days. Been a little bit hectic around here, but I'm having a lot of transits myself anyway. But let's see who's on. Who have I got going on here? Whoops. So, full moon in Leo, we're going to talk about that and exactly what kind of energy is being brought in, how we can use the energy to really evolve and get the best out of it in our life. And then I'm also going to pull some cards tonight for the full moon energy. But I've been getting so many downloads. My dreams have been so unbelievably intense lately. I don't know about all of you, if you've been getting a lot of dreams, but it has been like dreaming in full color, the whole bit. So I'm just leaning over here. I'll bring this over this way so I don't have to lean in. And let's see who's on tonight. Who's in my audience, my beautiful fans? I have Marianne and Joanne on today. A couple other people as well. Just pop into the chat and say hi if you're on. So this Leo full moon's coming in, and I have to tell you that it's intense because we've got all these other planets squaring this moon. We've got all the planets in Aquarius and all the planets in Taurus squaring this full moon. So we've got a lot of tension. There's also conversations of tension. So we've got the moon kind of all by itself up in one part of the sky, and then we've got Uranus and Mars in Taurus down here, and then we've got all at a 90-degree angle from the moon, Mars and Taurus, and Uranus and Taurus, and then the other 90-degree angle is Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury, and Black Moon Lilith is up by Saturn and up by Uranus and Mars. So we've got all this stuff going on, and the moon kind of at a 90-degree angle of these conversations of tensions. Hi Elizabeth, how are you doing? Hey David. So what does it mean for all of us? Well, the best use of the energy is to use the Leo energy for creativity, because Leo is a very creative energy. It's our heart base. One of the things that I had written a little blog about today, a post about, was to drop down into our heart, because all that Aquarian energy is going to make us mentally and put us in our heads. It's going to make us mentally want to move, want to do things, want to look at the future, want to be innovative, and also want to create. But it's going to make us a little bit spazzy in the head. So if we can drop down into the Leo energy of the heart, it'll give us a little bit more passion and a little bit authenticity for our creativity. And then the things that we create will be more meaningful to us. So one of the things that I like to do, especially during a very amplified Leo energy, is to breathe into my heart and actually pretend like my heart is lungs, and just breathing in through my chest instead of my nose, almost imagining that. And when I do that, it really centers me and it grounds me. And that's an exercise that we can use basically any time of the day and allow it to calm us down, calm down our parasympathetic nervous system, and really bring us back to our own center and our own values. Hi Andrew, how are you? I'm doing good. And I feel like if we can do that and we can kind of center ourselves, then all the stuff going on around us is not really going to matter as much. And there's so much things going on around us. So a couple of things happening towards the end of this week. January 30th, Mercury is going retrograde. So we want to make sure that we have all of our computers backed up. And if you're signing any contracts or buying cars or doing anything to your appearance, you want to make sure that you read it over well, look at the options, and read all the fine print. So that Mercury retrograde is going to last till February 20th or so, and it is a very intense Mercury retrograde. It's in Aquarius. So that's a lot of computers, it's a lot of communication. So you really want to make sure that stuff is backed up. So this full moon is going to bring in some energy that's going to heighten some things for us. First of all, it is going to heighten out a lot more vision. It's going to make us as a whole, as a global community, creative in the sense of collaboration and creative in the sense of futuristic energy, visionary energy. It's going to lessen the duality for us a little bit. That's in the higher octave because there's some things happening that we kind of end this month on a little bit of optimism, believe it or not. And I know it's hard to think about when we have all these things going on in the news right now. But Aquarian energy is very much in play. We've got a lot of planets in Aquarius right now. And so the downside of Aquarius energy is the duality. The downside of Aquarius energy is embracing my individuality and my uniqueness, but anyone who doesn't seem to have affection for it or understand it is an outsider. So that's the downside of Aquarian energy in the extreme. Aquarian energy can be very detached. What Aquarian energy is meant to be in the scheme of things in positivity is Aquarius is the water bearer. It brings the water. It's an air sign. A lot of people confuse it and think it's a water sign. It's not. It's an air sign. It's mental. It's futuristic energy. It's innovation. It's invention. But it's the sign of the water bearer that brings the water. Why? Because through that innovation and through the ability to want to be of service, Aquarius is very much being of service in the world, wanting to bring the water to the community so that it has nourishment. That's an Aquarian personality trait, to want to serve humanity and be part of a community. However, the Aquarian doesn't want to stay in that community and be part of the water bath. It wants to deliver the water and leave. It wants to be part of the community and then live on the outskirts of the community. So the purpose of Aquarian energy is to bring the water, bring the innovation, bring the invention, bring the new thoughts, bring the science, the ability to accomplish things, and then allow the group, the community, to bring it to fruition and accomplish it. So one of the downsides of that Aquarian energy is that sometimes it will be very insular in its thinking. Aquarians sometimes will think, well, I'm so unique and I want to, kind of fly my freak flag and really embrace my individuality. But if there's anyone in their group that doesn't embrace it, then they're an outsider. So it's me and you, inside and outside. That's a very Aquarian thing. And you can see how that's kind of fitting in to our global communities now, where we are all divided. We're divided by race, we're divided by politics, we're divided by so many different things. And as we come into this Aquarian age, that some people like to call it, even though it's not the Aquarian age, that would happen for many, 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 many years. But we're coming into a lot of Aquarian energy. And the Aquarian energy can either pull us apart and make us so unique that we're in these little pods and anyone who's not like us doesn't get to be with us, or it can unite us as a community and respect all of it. So this full moon is going to really bring a lot of that into play. And it'll be interesting to see if we unite as a community or if we begin to kind of go into these little pods of, well, I'm purple and you're orange, so you can't come in the purple pod, Oftentimes that's what happens with heavy Aquarian energy. So we've got all those planets in Aquarius in a conversation of tension with this Leo moon because 90-degree angle, they're squaring. And then we've got this energy in Taurus, which is also at a 90-degree angle squaring the moon. And that's Uranus and Mars. And those are very volatile energies. Those are energies that are our mojo, our power. So this full moon can really make us feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it won't make us feel uncomfortable if we go into the heart energy. We're uncomfortable if we're too in the head. So if we can drop down into the heart energy and embrace that during this time, this cosmology, these cosmic events, we're going to find that we get very much revelations, aha moments. We're going to have aha moments that we want to act on. Don't be too impulsive. Now is not the time to really act. Now's the time to get out a piece of paper and write down your plan. Very much so. So that's the way to handle the energy. The other thing is that you might have heart palpitations. You might feel fluctuations in your heart. That's because the energy is very heart-based right now. So the themes that a full moon usually has is creativity for Leo. That's for certain, certainly for sure. So put on that creator's cape. You know, the things that you love to do, that you're passionate about, that you always wanted to do, and that you've been putting off. You know, did you always want to learn how to salsa dance? Or maybe you always wanted to know more of, you know, astrology, or whatever it is that you always wanted to do, that you feel a pull towards, a passion for. That's really what you want to embrace in this energy and start. Normally full moons bring in endings and culminations, but in this energy, I would say it's really great creativity and passion to start something that you've always wanted to do. So full moons are going to be usually a culmination. They're usually going to make things very highly emotionally charged. With Leo, that would definitely be heart energy. The spotlight is usually on relationships during a full moon. Usually you become very aware. You know, things become like almost like full blown and heightened. It's usually endings, a culmination of either a project or something you've been working on for a while, a relationship, something that's been building into a culmination, usually ends on a full moon. They're also great for making declarations. Full moons are really when you want to declare what your next step is, what you want to do in the future, etc. And as I said, it's highly emotional, but it's also a great time to harvest and put things into, you know, reap what you sow kind of a thing. It's a really good time for that. So I'm just going to share the show because I know I always have to do that. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing? Oh, Sarah's a Leo. This is your full moon. You're going to feel this a lot in your heart. Definitely feel this a lot in your heart. And what I was going to say is you may even feel emotional, especially if this is your particular sign. If you are a rising, moon, or sun sign Leo, you can definitely feel very emotional in this. I am going to share the show. Here we are. I'm sorry, my nose is running badly. I was actually out in the air today, and it was really cold, and so my nose is acting up from it. So I apologize for that. And it's probably going to be worse tomorrow, because tomorrow I am going to be painting. Okay, so we share the show, and so that's the full moon energy usually. In the Leo energy, it's going to be, Leo themes are definitely lion-hearted courage. You're going to want to use this to really kind of face fear, which is a great thing to do with Leo energy. You know, king of the jungle, Leo the lion. Very, very brave people. So you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to, you're going to want to be brave, valor. Other Leo-like things are heart-based energy, passion. You want to stay out of ego. You don't want to be too impulsive. Leos have a tendency to charge in sometimes. Leos can also be very defensive, so you want to watch that. Make sure you're not too defensive. And that would be really most of the things that would happen in a Leo moon, under a Leo full moon. If anybody has any questions or anything they want to ask about, regarding the Leo full moon, I would absolutely be happy to answer them. Just put them in the chat, okay? For some reason, this is not letting me share the show. I'll be so glad when I'm back in the studio. Here we go. And then we're going to go to cards, because I know you guys all love the cards. Here we go. I miss my Sally, but you guys know that. Okay, so I'm pretty cash tonight. You like my flannel? It's freezing here in the north east, and so I figured I would just put on my flannels. So one of the other things I want to talk about with this Leo new moon, which happened today at 2:16 p.m. at 9 degrees Leo, if you have any planets in Leo, if you have any planets that are in 9 degree, you'll be affected by that. So the other thing I want to talk about is restriction. And this came to me, actually, I woke up the other morning and I started to think about this a lot. And I think that we're really at a time when really want to think about the restrictions in our life. Got Aquarius here. Hey, Aquarius. It's Anthony Mango. You've got a lot going on in Aquarius because you've got Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury there right now. What else is in Aquarius? I'm going to look at the chart. The sun is in Aquarius, of course, so happy birthday. And a couple of asteroids are also in Aquarius. So you're probably feeling this full moon, I would say, a lot. Also, Aquarians out there, you're going to undergo a lot of shifts and a lot of changes this year because you have Saturn in your sign, which is your karmic lessons. It's rewards and also things that will be detrimental in the sense of removing things that need to be removed that maybe you don't have the courage to remove yourself. So expect a lot of changes this year, Aquarians out there. But what I was going to say before about restriction is this. I would really love it if all of us here in the Zenkuda community, you know, we're all working on ourselves, we're all doing our soul work, we're all trying to really rev up and evolve our lives. And I think that restrictions are really coming into play, not just, you know, from 2020, we all had all these restrictions with deprivation of goods and supplies and not being able to do things we wanted to do, and some of that is still going on. But when I talk about restriction, I mean, what are the things that are holding you back in your life? What really are the things that are preventing you from going forward to really meet up with the things that you really value? Because when we think about that, we probably think about certain things. Maybe we have a tendency to blame other people for certain restrictions that happen in our life. But I think that one of the things that, if we're really honest with ourselves, and if we use the energy of this full moon especially, and the next few days we have a lot of transits coming in to help us navigate this particular type of thing. If we really are honest with ourselves and think about what exactly am I restricted? How do I restrict myself? And I think that, you know, especially with social media or just media in general, being out in the world, talking to people, one of the themes that I'm really seeing a lot is restriction. In the sense that we restrict ourselves by going into battle with other people that are just no-win situations. We restrict ourselves in the idealism that we have for what people should think when they don't think like us. It becomes a restriction. Like we really don't want to hang out with them, we really don't want to engage with them, or we actually censor ourselves. So in some way, it's a restriction. And I think that's one of the reasons why we feel so frustrated. I think we want to blame it on quarantine. We want to blame it on some of the societal restrictions that we're feeling, and maybe that has some merit. But I think if we're really honest with ourselves, we're feeling restricted and we're feeling frustrated because the universe is really showing us how we restrict ourselves. You know, how do we talk to ourselves and restrict ourselves with simple words like, oh, you can't do that, or oh, you shouldn't do that, or what did you do that for? It's all like this tightening of restriction until we find ourselves in these little boxes, right? Or we allow other people to restrict us in the sense of the way that we the perceptions we have about their opinions, right? Even their opinions of us restrict us. Oh, I don't want to do that because then they'll think that about me. Or, oh, I don't want them to think I'm mean. Or I don't want them to think I'm not nice. And we're restricting ourselves constantly, constant restriction. And then we wonder why we're frustrated. So I think, and this just came to me the other morning, and I think that with this beautiful Leo full moon and the energy of this beautiful lion heart, this expansive heart, maybe we could bring some compassion to ourselves so that we aren't restricting ourselves so much in so many ways. I mean, I can think of 1,000 different ways we could all restrict ourselves. And if there's some comments people want to make about, you know, some revelation that you may have about how you restrict yourself, financially, you know, maybe you can afford the new living room set, but you won't let yourself buy it because you're worried you won't have a little bit in savings, right? Or, you know, oh, I'm not going to get that car, I'm going to buy this car because, No, 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 I can't spend that money. I can't do it. You don't treat yourself right. It's all a restriction. And I think that that's what makes us cranky. I think that's what makes us frustrated. I think in the extreme, it leads to depression. I think it leads to feelings of more inadequacy. And it's almost like we're stuck in this loop because we make ourselves feel restricted, which makes ourselves feel inadequate, which then makes us restrict ourselves more. So that just kind of came to me the other morning, and I'm just throwing it out there to see if there's anything that you could actually use that I'm saying that will help you open up instead of restrict. And open up in the sense of, where can I bring more love into my life? Because when we do those things and we shut someone out, or we shut ourselves out, or we're not really listening, or we're not really hearing ourselves, or we're not allowing ourselves to indulge in something that we should, or we're not allowing ourselves to partake of something beautiful that we should, or any of those things, aren't we really shutting love out of our lives? And isn't our whole journey here about creating more love, looking for opportunity to love more and be more love and feel joy? And so I just, I was thinking about that. I don't know if anybody has any comments about it, but that's what I was thinking. And so this Leo full moon is so creative. Like, let's use that creativity to create less restriction, more openness, and more love in our life. All right? That's what I would say. Especially when we have this energy that is so conducive to us getting in touch with the child within, and that beautiful, like, lightheartedness that we all have inside. So I'm going to pull some cards for all of us. And if anybody, I'm going to read the comments back. I don't know if there's any comments tonight. Sometimes it's quiet and sometimes it's not. Hey, Joanne. Hi, Marianne, David, Elizabeth, Marilyn, Andrew, Jackie, Colleen, Sarah. Oh, you're a Taurus, Joanne. You have Uranus in your sign the next few years. Anthony. A Taurus and a Gemini. Yeah, that would be on the cusp, May 21st. So you might be feeling, Gemini has the north node of the moon in it now for the next year. So you may be having changes in your life, especially with the north node there. But with the Taurus energy, Uranus is going to shake things up. So I would not be surprised, Anthony, if you have some real changes coming in for you in this next 12 to 18 months. If they haven't started already, which they probably have. Yeah, David, the full moon is in Leo, and that's our heart energy. So you're going to find that you really need to drop into the heart, find more love in our lives. Hey, Janine, how are you? I'm going to pull a card for you right now. Aaron, you made it. I'm going to pull a card right now for Joanna Maya. And I'm using my regular tarot deck tonight, like I did last week, and also my soul cards. I love my soul cards. And going to use those tonight. Everybody send some love to Aaron, because Aaron has been, that's my friend from Texas, and he has been working so hard on himself and trying to do the right thing and control his craziness of his Aries stuff. I mean that with affection, my Aaron, because I don't think you're crazy at all. I think you're more sane than most people. But he's been working so hard to do self-mastery these last few weeks, and he's really been challenged. So send Aaron some really cool love and lion courage that he keeps doing the right thing, and also good luck in his job hunt, because he's actually up for some really good stuff. All right. So this first card is for Joanne Amaya. What do we have for you tonight, Joanne? Spirit is telling me to pick this card. Okay, well, actually 2 cards came out, Joanne, so I'm going to pick them both for you. So the first card that came out is this card, which I feel is contemplation of you going within. You're kind of worried about something, but stay in the light, which is at the top of this card, all right? Because on the bottom I have a little bit of darkness. So this is showing me that you are actually getting rid of something. I know that sounds a little icky, but truthfully, it's out with the old, in with the new. You have all this light coming in. I almost feel like you're releasing something. Full moons would absolutely do that. And then the other card I have here is this card, which really confirms this card for me, because if you look at this, it's almost like giving birth to me. This person is like kind of stretching and, you know, having new energy come in. It's all violet. And then I've got this beautiful, I'm sorry, I had it upside down. And then I have this beautiful, you know, going like this and stretching her arms into prayer. And then she's got all this light up here. But the shape of the woman's body makes me very mindful of me of pregnancy and giving birth. So to me, this is releasing and something new coming in. So for you, Joanne, there's new things coming in. Look at all this beautiful light. Stay in the light. Light, light, light. Release, release. Again, darkness on the bottom of the card. Release. So you're releasing something that no longer serves you and bringing in some beautiful, beautiful light. My next card is going to be for Marianne. She's an Aquarius, so I know that you have Uranus and Mars in your, you have Saturn and Jupiter in your sign. They're going to be with you for a little while. Saturn a couple of years, Jupiter the rest of this year. Jupiter in your home sign, Marianne, is going to expand things for you. And Saturn is going to limit things for you. So you may find a push-pull, like gas brake feeling this year, but that's okay, because it's also clearing out a lot of things for you, like new beginnings as well. A lot of new beginnings for a lot of us this year. And Marianne, I have this beautiful card. If you look at this, this is so much light coming out of this person's head. I feel like that's the new beginning. And then you've got this other person here looking down. I feel like this is your husband. He's always with you. I think you've gotten this card before, actually. But when I look at this, I feel like you have to look towards the future. Your husband will always be with you, but it's time to think of your life, keep going with your life, move along with your life. I also feel this is a card of forgiveness for some reason. Like you need to forgive energy so that you can move on from it. All right. Next one, I'm going to pull a card for my buddy Aaron. Aaron, I'm going to pull a card for you. I'm going to say that this card is going to be for your job, and I'm going to go to my tarot. Okay. Everybody give me some energy. We're going to pull a card for Aaron for his job search. And I don't know why, Aaron, but a relationship's coming in. No matter how much I want it to be something, Spirit always does what he wants to do, right? Okay. And if you're not all subscribed, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we're going to start doing some lives over there. I've got some event in the works that you guys are going to love. Aaron, it pulled two cards for me. First is Rebirth. This is a judgment card. A lot of people interpret this card wrong. This card is rebirth. You've got the Archangel Gabriel blowing his horn here and people being resurrected. So this is rebirth, something new, really good energy. Look at the golden blonde on Gabriel, and he's tooting the horn. This is heralding. This is heralding and new beginnings. All right? And Aaron, the next card is the High Priestess. You know that's your intuition. So just calm your jets and go into your intuition. Keep meditating. If you can meditate the same time every day for a while, I would really try to do that, because the universe is really trying to come in and give you messages and give you intuition and give you everything that's right for you. You've just got to really listen, let it come through. Okay? Those cards keep coming up for you. Terry Fertini, yes, create love and open to love. Very important in this energy. Let me tell you, 2020 was a rough year for a lot of us. 2021 is going to be a rough year in a different way. The planets have changed their course. In 2020, it was Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, I believe. No, I'm sorry. It was Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. So what happened was Jupiter would come in, make us optimistic. Then Saturn would come in and give us restriction. And then Pluto would come in and destroy something. And we'd be like, what has happened? Now that's reversed. Now it's Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter. So what's going to happen now is you're going to have something is going to destroy or fall away. And then Saturn comes in to show us where the limitation is. And then Jupiter comes in to give us the optimism, the freedom, and the emphasis on it so that we can create anew. So it's the same, if you look at it, it's the same components, but now they're in a different position. So 2021 is not going to be a breeze. It's going to be things falling away. It's still going to be structures dying, structures falling. That's what Saturn Pluto does. But now Jupiter is the final energy, which is the renewal, the lighthearted, the benevolence, the showing us the way, especially in Aquarius. So 2021 is going to be a rough year, but let me tell you, it's going to be a year that we can actually make some productivity headway. So really stay open to love, because what we create from that scenario of energy is going to be either love or it's going to be chaos. And there's a big fork in the road. So go towards love. Put on that beautiful creator cape that we all have and create love. Thank you, Terry. I'm going to pull this card for you. I'm sorry if I get preachy about that, but I'm telling you guys, the only way out of the eye of the needle is through the love. Okay, Terry, what have I got for you? High Priestess card. So you, my friend, are extremely intuitive. You know what you're doing out there. Beautiful High Priestess card. Thank you for your kind words tonight on our comments, because we all need to hear them. This is a card of really embracing and following your intuition and staying connected. So that's confirmation for you, Terry, that you are connected and that you really have to embrace your beautiful intuition. Janine, I'm going to pull a card for you. Janine is another one of my friends that in our community that are friends that really been working hard on self-mastery. So let's see what Spirit has to say for her tonight. Kudos to you, Janine. You've been doing a great job this year. Oh, Aaron and Andrew are bonding with their charts. I love it. Okay. Janine, you got the Knight of Cups. This is messages. This is moving forward. Look at how proud he is on his horse. Even his horse is taking a bow. The wings on his helmet. This is energy moving forward. Keep doing what you're doing. Everything's going to come together for you. All right? Andrew, Aaron, that's great. I love it when people talk about their charts. I just love it. I love shamanism. I have my rites of Mudakia. I actually took them twice. I loved it so much. Terry, inner child work is supposed to be explosive. Inner child work, not very many people have the courage to do it. I have a friend who does shamanic journey almost every day. And it gives you so much strength, because even if while you're journeying you're not really understanding it, it will come to you and you will understand it. It really opens up so many things, because shamanism, I feel my experience with it is it connects my subconscious, where everything is, to the earth, to the world, to the universe, that grid. And so it bypasses all the conscious stuff that confuses us. So start with some shamanistic journey, some shaman journeying, because shamanic journeying, because that's going to put you in a completely different frame of reference, and it's really, really great. It'll also really heighten your intuition. One of my shamans taught me a long time ago. God, probably this is one of the first lessons I ever learned when I started to embrace shamanism. And as I said, I have the rites of Mudaki, which are from the Quito people. And it's called the doorway meditation. I still do it to this day. And if you ever notice, like Native Americans, they oftentimes, you'll see them, or you'll see portraits of them just standing in the doorway of their teepees. And it's a meditation. And my shaman had taught me to basically just stand in the doorway of your home, whether it's the front or the rear, and just look out at the surroundings, at the yard, at the green, at the trees, at whatever's there, in silence. And take in and observe what is going on in a way that you are completely connected with it. And when you do that, all of a sudden, like just even a bird will like fly somewhere, and you are that bird. You become so enmeshed with nature and with the universe in those moments. And if you practice that every morning just for a couple minutes, you're going to see how that doorway meditation becomes the doorway to a very mystical, beautiful world of not just journeying through the underworld, but coming out and really being connected to the world grid of what's really going on. So I give that to you, because that's beautiful, beautiful work. And if you ever want to do a shamanic journey with anybody, just call me and PM me and we'll do it together, or Zoom or wherever. I'd love to do that with you. Jackie Barlow, I am going to, oh, you're Gemini. A lot of Geminis. You got the North Node of the Moon in Gemini this year and for the next year or so. That is very auspicious, especially when the North Node comes in to cross your Sun. That is a time when usually things change in your life for the good. A lot of beneficial and things meant to put you on the right path of your soul destiny. So for all you Geminis out there. So I am going to pull a card for you, Jackie. Okay, pull a card for my beautiful Gemini. Telling me to go to the soul cards. Gonna do that. Okay. Look at this beautiful card, Jackie. Unity. So maybe the North Node in your sign has something to do with you doing something to be of service to the world, be the change we all wish to see. This is a beautiful full moon unity card. And what a more appropriate card there would be for tonight's beautiful full moon in Leo. Love, creativity, heart space. So take that with you, Jackie, and know that your mission, your soul work is definitely something to do with unifying the community and the globe. Cancer moons are highly intuitive, so that makes sense. David, I'm going to pick a card for you. Okay. So I'd love to hear if any of you had any experiences with the energy the last couple of weeks, because we've had a lot of really great transits, conjunctions, all kind of stuff. And I'll tell you, I just think it takes a lot of courage to do soul work and do your inner child work and all your work these days, boy. So I'd love to hear your stories. David, this is a card of competition. Playful competition usually, but it could also mean that you may have been battling with somebody. If you've been arguing or fussing or fighting with a family member, David, it's time to forgive, forget, and be really nice. So take that with you and just know that if there's any battles going on, they will end, and you need to definitely go to neutral corners. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, my Cancer, Patty Ann Clements. I'm going to pick a card for you. You are a... Oops. Cancer. Cancer's had a little bit of goings on last year. This year is going to be a little smoother for Cancers, depending what else is in your chart. But let me pick a card for you. The moon and the way the moon is always affects Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, Patty Ann, I got the Fool card. What the Fool card means in tarot is that you're going on a journey. And usually it's a journey of self-mastery, like a soul journey. If you look in the card, it looks like he's about to walk off the cliff. That is because this is a card of taking a leap of faith. The sun is shining on the person. He's got a flower in his hand. His little dog is at his heels. All is right with the world. But he's about to take the wrong step. But in actuality, it's not a wrong step. It's a leap of faith to trust that the sun will still shine upon you and that everything will still grow. So if there's a decision or anything that you've been wondering if you should go forward with, this card is saying to do so, but also give it conscious thought. And don't just do things impulsively. Make sure when you take the leap of faith that everything you can possibly put in place is there. But it's also very emotional. It's very hard to take that leap of faith. If you look at the top of this card, there's a little brass ring. That's very symbolic of reaching for the brass ring. Years ago, when I was in Savasana after yoga, I had a meditation, a dream, whatever you want to call it, vision of exactly that card. And in the dream, I was afraid to step off the cliff. And then I did, expecting to feel myself falling. And a golden chariot appeared and carried me away. So whenever I get the Fool card, I know usually it's because someone is going on a leap of faith, a journey of soul. So take that leap of faith and make sure that you do everything possible to put your ducks in a row, do it intelligently, and trust in spirit. Good luck with your job search, Aaron. I think Aaron's going to get a job. I think he's got one, but we'll see. A lot of Cancers in the audience tonight. Rosemary Gridley, this card is for you. Okay, Rosemary, this is a card of balance. The Four of Pentacles means that money-wise, coin-wise, you have enough money saved, enough money earned, and enough money for all your expenses. So this is a card of balancing money and finances. I feel like you've recently made some changes with some things in the financial area of your life, and you need to keep making those changes. I feel like the universe wants you to have respect for money and understand the value of it as an exchange, not something to either be hoarded or impulsively used, but just in balance. So this is definitely a card that teaches us the exchange of money and the value of money and the equality of it. So take that with you. I feel like you just recently maybe made some changes in the way you look at money and material possessions, and now you're changing the way that kind of is in your life, the way that you think about those things in your life. So you're on the right track. Keep doing that. The universe always rewards us when we answer it properly with our actions. Gina, how are you doing? I hope things are going better than they were a couple weeks ago for you. Gina is a Sagittarius, I believe. I think you're a Sagittarius. Going to pull a card for you. And Gina, I'm going to announce right now to everyone that's listening that my show, which is usually on now, Thursdays at 6:30, starting next week, February 2nd, I am going to be on Tuesday nights at 6:30. So Tuesday night live on Gov's Comedy Central and Gov's Comedy Club and govscomedyradio.com. Tuesday nights, 6:30. So I got my Tuesday night slot that I always wanted. Love it. Gina, this card's for you. Temperance. Gina, this is a card of balancing emotion, spiritual, and material world. Sometimes when I get this card, I think that it may be that we're letting our emotions run over a little bit, and we need to put things back in perspective and kind of check ourselves. This is a card of really balancing the world. You can see it's a very religious kind of a card, like balancing the world as far as what we believe in, our values, going back to our roots of spirituality in order to carry us through whatever we're going through. Beautiful wings on the angel. So when we see temperance, it really means just that, to try and balance our heightened emotion with our faith, with our spirituality. So take that with you. I hope that gives you some comfort. Excuse me. Yeah, see, Aaron and I have been comparing our tarot notes, and I love to do that because I feel like you learn from each other. So he gets that card quite a bit. All right, Elizabeth Batapede. We're going to pick a card for you. I'm sorry, I don't have a cold, and I'm not sick, and I don't have COVID. I just have an allergy because I was outside in the cold today. My nose has not been like this in months, so I shouldn't go out in the cold. Okay, Elizabeth, this is for you. The Page of Cups. Page of Cups, Elizabeth, usually signifies for me that you are going to be getting a message. Pages are messages. And as you can see, this is almost like your cup runneth over, the fish is coming out of it. So usually when you hear a message with the Page of Cups, it's a good message. This could be a message from a loved one you haven't heard from in a while that will contact you through usually electronic media, social media, email, text, phone call, not someone that's going to like knock on your door. This is also very much sometimes when pages come through and they're messages for me, it could also be a message from a past loved one. I do want to tell you that there is a male around you that has passed. When he first came in, I felt like it was someone younger. Now I'm getting a dad type of energy coming through. But pages always bring messages either from the other side or from someone in the family of love. I feel like this is going to be a message from a male, and it could very well be someone coming through from the other side. Yeah, very much a male energy coming through from the other side. So take that with you. If you've lost someone younger in your family, brother, son, younger boy, not kid, but young, male relative or male person, definitely coming in to say they love you. And you're going to find something or a message from them. And I can tell because I'm just heating up. The energy coming through is really, really strong. You're going to get a message. You're going to see something, find something, a picture, a letter, a sign of some kind from this person. Yeah, just take that with you. Definitely, Elizabeth. Coming in really strong. Jackie, I picked a card for you, I believe, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. When I resume in-person readings, I'll let you know, Joanne. I'm very booked right now with Zoom and FaceTime readings. Oh, people are reuniting. I love it. I love to create community. Good, Terry. Keep going, though. It comes. Okay, and I've got Mary. Going to pick a card for Mary Harden. And I believe it was Elizabeth who came in just now, who we had the male energy come in for. If you can just give me something in the comments as a confirmation or something if that was correct, because I'm still getting energy on that. All right, Mary. Mary, I have the sun here for you. And usually when I see this is a card of health, rebirth, baby, but health as well. If there's anything, I feel like you're recovering. I feel like you were having a health issue and now it's kind of receding into the past. You are in a recovery of some kind from something physical. Your health is going to be really good. I feel like 2021, you somehow take on much better health than you have in recent years. Almost feel like this is almost like a rebirth health-wise for you. But also I'm getting a strong energy of an actual like baby. Like someone in the family has a child or a new baby or someone's expecting. You may not have even heard about this yet, but you will get a message about that. But I also feel like this pertains to your health. So if you have just recently decided to do something different or more proactive about your health, keep doing it, because I feel like that's a thing for you this year. And it'll be really good for you, like successful. Like, you know, sometimes we start a diet or a gym or a new supplement or some different thing, and it falls by the wayside and we don't do it. I feel like this is a really good time for you to start that, because you're going to do it. It's going to be very successful. Okay. Oops. If I do a reading for you personally, Mary, I ask for date of birth, but I don't need it online here. And I would caution people to like not to put too much information on the comments, because you never know. Okay. Yeah, you will. Anybody who does any kind of shamanism or medicine woman, you are going to find it very, very powerful energy. I always did. You know, so keep in touch with that and let me know how you're doing with that. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I found all of you. Aries, Mary, Mars just came out of your sign after being in your sign for 6 months. So for my Aries lovelies out there, you probably had a really volatile year last year. Probably kind of hard for you almost to keep your tempers in check, and you were like raring to go last year. That's going to calm down for you now. Sarah, if you're having migraines still, what I'm going to say is try to exercise a little bit, even if it's walking, you know, try and get some. I feel like you need to release energy. You're holding energy in the crown of your head. Sometimes when we have migraine, series of migraine, chain of migraine, it can also be, you know, we're developing heightened intuition and we're not allowing it through. So if you're having headaches, I would definitely get checked out, of course. But I think I'm feeling for you energetically that you need to release energy. You've got too much energy in the head. Yeah, Gina and I know each other like 20 years. Gina's awesome. Absolutely new beginnings, Aaron. You're on a track for that. Okay, I'm trying to get through the comments because I know I don't have a lot of time left. And I always run out of time when I'm talking about things. David, I think that health will be better when you start to forgive and release certain things. I think that you get too wound up. That's how I feel the energy anyway. Laura Alvino, hello, welcome. Oh, God bless you too. Kristen, I'm going to pull a card for Kristen. Got a lot of new people on tonight. This is great. Thank you guys for sharing. So Kristen, I'm going to pull a card for you. And don't forget, next week I'm going to be on Tuesday at 6:30. I've only got about 10 minutes left, and I know I have like at least 80 comments to go through. So here is a card for Kristen. Kristen, I just pulled this card for someone else. Money is balancing. If you've been having some issues with money or worried about money, it all is going to be okay. Give it, I would say, like at least 3 months till it really pans out, but it's going to start improving. This is a card where you have enough money saved, enough money earned, and enough money for the future. So this is all about balancing money. What I always tell people is if we respect money in our life and don't abuse it or indulge it, if we respect it, then the universe gives us plenty. But we have to show the universe that we understand and respect the value of money as an exchange. Okay, why is my thing frozen here? I can't get my comment. Here we go. Claire, how are you doing, my baby? I've got so many people on tonight. It's not even funny. I'm going to pull a card for Claire. I'm going to use my regular tarot, and then I'm also going to pull a soul card for you. Oh, and I forgot to mention, on February 19th, I've got the King of Swords, Claire. This is a male, air sign, Libra. My mind just went blank. Male air sign, a Libra, why can't I think of my Libra, Gemini, or why can't I think of my air signs, people? What the hell happened? Libra, Libra, Gemini, or the heck? So male, because I'm getting another message. Okay, male, King of Swords, male energy. I feel like this is someone in authority for you. All right, and this is someone that actually comes to you for with recognition. So you're going to get recognition of some kind. This may be a family member, Clara, because I'm also getting on my soul cards the Tree of Life. This is an energy for me where you're putting down roots. So this could even be like a father, uncle, male energy. Someone who you need recognition from. Could even be someone on the other side that you may get a sign from. But I feel like you're definitely going to have recognition from a male energy around you. And this Tree of Life, this is the Tree of Life card for me. This is about roots. This is about you thinking about the past, thinking about your roots, maybe your family roots. And then this energy comes in to confirm something from you about recognition. Male air sign could be Libra, Gemini, or the other air sign that we have is earth sign. Aquarius is water. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other sign it could be. This is a Libra or a Gemini. I'm feeling Libra or Gemini. And definitely someone like you knew even as a child. So it might be dad, might be grandfather. But this is somebody that comes in or you get a sign of recognition for something in your life. Really profound though. Very beautiful, beautiful energy. So just take that with you and be open to it. Because when we're open to the signs, we really see the signs. All right? Okay. Thanks for tuning in, Claire. David, we did you. Good day, guys. It's one of the guys from Govs. Oh, who do I got here? Okay, Jackie, Elizabeth. They're having like a high school reunion on here with all these guys. Oh, that makes sense to me, Mary, if you moved away from an abusive relationship. Laura Alvino, I'm going to pick a card for you. I don't believe I did before. Oops. Okay, Laura. All right, Laura. I got the Hermit. So, Laura, usually when I get this card, it means that you're spending too much time in solitude. It could mean that you need to get out more. I know all of us have been really challenged with that right now. With, you know, being in sequestered and, you know, our cloistering, as I like to call it, sequestering. But this is a card where you really want to get out a little bit more, even if that means doing little Zoom or FaceTime or phone conversations. You really want to start to engage yourself with other people. Because whenever I get the Hermit card, what it means for me is it's really important for you to start speaking to other people or connecting with other people, because those connections are actually going to be giving you kind of like revelations and thoughts and things that are very profound. Oftentimes we find mentors and teachers in life in the least likely places, and I feel like there's connections waiting for you out there. But if you look at this card, the Hermit is shining his light. That's really almost like what the universe wants to do for you, but you've got to get out and connect with people in order to do it. So Laura, if you've been inside too much or even working too much and not socializing a lot or spending time with family, that card is telling you to definitely do more of that. The air signs are Aquarius, of course, Libra, and Gemini. Hey, Joanne, how are you doing? I'm going to pick a card for you. Just hang in there because it's all going to get better. Very volatile. Say last year, Aries. Okay, this is for my friend Joanne. Okay. There's a lot of energy, Aaron, besides the full moon changing. We've got squares galore happening. Mercury's going retrograde on the 30th. Let me pick this card for Joanne, and if I have a few minutes, I'll go into the astrology. Joanne, High Priestess, listen to your intuition. Definitely go with your intuition, Joanne. If there's something that you've been asking for an answer about, just listen to your intuition. So, Aaron, we've got a lot of squares in the sky right now, and also the big thing happening is we've got Mercury going retrograde in Aquarius, so definitely back up your computer stuff, guys. And the other thing is we've got Mars and Uranus were conjunct. They're pulling away from each other, so some of the volatility will stop. But the big issue is the next couple of days, we've got, you know, Jupiter and Saturn together in Aquarius. Mercury's in that sign, and when it goes retrograde, it's going to start passing over Jupiter and Saturn again. So that's our higher mind. That is our higher mind being inventive. It can also make us impulsive. So when those things start to happen, especially the next few days, you really want to make sure that you stay grounded in love. February 6th, we've got Venus conjunct Saturn and squaring Uranus. That's going to be a very impulsive energy, things lightning, happening very quickly. So remember, on the 6th and 7th of February, you want to kind of lay low a little bit, stay out of conflict. And then on the 10th, we've got Mercury retrograde squaring Mars. That's like total combustion.